How you doing, guys? This is Richie. Today we're going to take a look at Neal Adams, The Art Of. This is the slipcase edition. I bought this book years ago. So this is the signed edition, and Neal Adams passed away, 3-4 years ago? Probably. So let's take a look. There's his signature right there. Now, possibly one of the greatest illustrators in comics ever. Do not have much of his work in my collection from my older stuff, but I do really like the Batman work. It's fantastic. And this goes way back. Secret Agent X9 Tangent, Chapter 2. That's him when he was very young, taking pictures and it's very glossy pages. I prefer the matte stock paper more than anything. Warp. I think Frank Bruner worked on Warp also. Now we start getting into the DC stuff. Dead Man. And probably besides Batman, his second most famous would be his Green Lantern run. The iconic John Stewart cover and the Junkie cover, which always kind of gives me the creeps, being a drug addict who hasn't used in 13 years. I know exactly what that feels like. Sauron, his X-Men work, and he didn't do too much work on the X-Men. I think only a few issues, maybe 4 or 5, maybe, and then he did some Avengers work. I would love to collect all that stuff in high grade slabs. I love the covers. Ra's al Ghul is one of his co-creations. This is a variant cover that was done years ago. It used to be worth a lot of money, but I had seen it recently go for a lot cheaper than what it used to. Just great illustration. That's not Jim Carrey. Wow, that looks just like him. Looks like a design for a mug or mugs. Very prolific, did a lot of work. Conan. Yeah, he's got couple good Conan covers, I remember. I think I have a few of the Bronze Age stuff in high grade. Film and art. Wow. Jackie Chan. The cinema posters. Old Billy Jack. I'm sure a lot of the younger guys wouldn't even know who the hell that is. That's funny. And the old Bruce Lee. That's a great, great illustration. This is really nice. Wow. Childhood's End. Huh. I've never seen that. Here's the horror stuff. Horror magazines. I think he did some work for Eerie and Creepy. The Dracula May Live Again. Love this black and white stuff. That's great. That's really cool. So I like this book. It doesn't show too much original art, like a lot of the other artist books I have. You know, the original pen and ink, pencils and inks. That's always a bummer. And pencils, there's not a lot. I don't think there's any pencils, original pencils. Painted covers. Wow, looks like he did some Olympic work. Vehicles. Wow. That's a great motorcycle. That's a great drawing. Some futuristic stuff. Miss Mystic. Continuity Studios. That was a studio he owned and operated. A lot of talented people came through there. Megalith. These would be worthwhile to grab just to look at the art in them. I don't think the stories are much of anything, but crazy man. Master of Light, the Shaman. That's pretty wild. Valeria, the She-Bat. Great artist. I don't, in my personal top 5, I don't think he would be in it. And most people would probably think I was crazy for saying that. But there's a lot of other artists, you know, Ditko, Kirby, Buscema. I love Bruner. Love Walt Simonson. It's tough to get a top 5. Terminator. Look at that. That's amazing. Huh. I wonder if he worked on that, on storyboarding for Terminator 2. Here's September 11th. Wow. Can't believe it's been 20-something years already. That's Neal Adams with some crazy bushy eyebrows. This might be a Vietnam piece. Sports cars. It's very airbrushy, it looks to me. I like it, but it doesn't give me that punch that Kirby gives me or Ditko. All right, so that's a look of the art of Neal Adams. Check it out if you're a Neal Adams fan. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.